So we have a whole bunch of movies this week. Last week mentioned I got a new lens for the scanner, and it's both, like the devil's in the details. It's working really, really well, and the trouble is it's working really, really well because that means now all the movies that I've scanned and done over the last 4 or 5 years have had the scanner. I look at it and go, "What crap? I need to redo it." So I'm going to be very selective in going back on some of them because I just don't have the time in my life left to do them all over. But it is gratifying. Wayne saw the example of some of the changes and how they look different. Um, in today, we're going to have some movies that are newly scanned, and I also found a folder on my computer of a bunch of them I had scanned way back and forgot I had scanned and hadn't seen yet. So we'll see a bunch of 64 stuff from the old inferior degenerate scanner. No. So all sorts of stuff. And then it was fun. I got a one of the things we did a show a couple weeks ago about things you find on films you weren't expecting. And a lot of times I'll buy a collection of films to get one that I wanted. And this particular one, guy had a film that was labeled World's Fair Vancouver, and I was really excited to get it until I found out it was World's Fair Seattle. I didn't know the difference. But going through the box of 10 films, and each of them is about 45 minutes long, the guy was really into stock car racing. So I've got all these stock car races from 1949, 1951, and I just watching all these 1940s cars going around and hitting each other and racing and everything and go, God, they'd be worth a fortune today. Also figure if I ever run out of time for a show, we could just put it on and Brock could try to identify all the cars as they go by. The guy, it's really interesting because so many of the shots, I was telling Carol, I had one where a guy went to Seaquarium in Miami. I don't know if we'll get to that today. And his whole thing was, I'm going to do everything at Seaquarium. I'm going to do it in 1.5 minutes. I mean, literally, the porpoise jumps out of the air. The guy feeds the fish. I mean, it's like watching a modern music video. Everything is just so going crazy. Then the one I was doing yesterday, the guy says, Our Vacation, 1964, Yellowstone, and the Grand Tetons. And he had his wife do this most elaborate thing of title slides. The only trouble was he didn't get really close to the thing. So it's like, I think I can make out the names, but produced by, written by, starring by, and everything. And then as he went on his trip, he drove from Colorado up to Yellowstone, but he stopped at like almost every small town along the way and took picture of the sign, like a sound of, Hodgeville, population 10, elevation, whatever. And they get the next sign, Irville, whatever. So he did very carefully documented everywhere he got. And he did when he got up to Yellowstone, spectacular footage of the geysers and the mud pots and everything else. But, like I said, everywhere along the way, the guys, welcome to beautiful North Dakota. Welcome here. You're now leaving there. So the guy was very, very good in documenting where he went and what he did. And like I said, it's fun to see. I looked at it. I did all this stuff yesterday, and I walked in the living room and said to Carol, we haven't been to Yellowstone for a while. Or I meant to say Yosemite. I keep getting them confused. She's laughing because I must have done it 10 times. And my son was saying, I hope if you pick one of these two to go to, you go to the right one. But no, we haven't been to Yosemite and Yellowstone. I've been to Yellowstone in a couple of years, and this guy's movie was so great. I was looking up hotel rates, and I think we may go back there. So, but fun stuff. So I'm going to start with a commercial film. I've been going back and restoring a bunch of Disney films. So we have A Day at Disneyland, which it's interesting if you decide to get the home film of A Day at Disneyland. Which version do you get? Because so far I have found 8 different versions that Disney did of A Day at Disneyland. And to make it real confusing, they often use the same catalog number, which I now know by heart, 7502. And you can say, okay, that could be the 1975 version, the 1977 version. It seemed like they updated it about every 2 years. But it could also be the silent version. It could be the sound version. So it becomes great fun trying to, restore these things. So let me get here to share screen.
Yeah, you mentioned you have a couple shots of Atlantic City too today.
Yes, I have that coming up too. So here, optimize for video clip and media player. So we're going to go through the 1974 version of A Day at Disneyland. This was bright red, which I figure is suitable or for Valentine's Day, right? We don't need to get bright red hearts and everything. But I was able to get some colors back out of this, which I was happy about.
How'd they take that opening scene before drones?
Helicopters.
Yep.
Uh,
Trampolines.
Yeah, the trampoline. Right. There's our boss. There's Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Hang on. I'll be right with you. I'm busy signing autographs. Which, if you've done the characters, it's great fun when you're trying to sign something you can't really see. We have the Walt Disney story. I don't know what these instruments are called. Does anybody know offhand?
No, they've been using them forever, but I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah.
I think I can find out.
Look at the ape here. He gets. Oh, don't bother me, son. Cranking some old-fashioned coffee out there. Now that's a Starbucks. Oh, there we go. Trampoline shot again. They must have shot that up from fairly high because I don't see anybody up looking at the helicopter.
was that low, the trees would be blowing from the downdraft.
Yeah.
Those are called Deegan organ chimes.
Oh, okay. They're pretty neat.
Yep.
Now, one thing is I went through and did like the 74, 75, whatever versions of these. You can see certain footage they reused over and over and over, and others, one version may be 80, 90% new, and then the next one would be 10% new. And I do know I need one version of it, so that I have 8 versions. I know there's a 9th where they actually go into the Matterhorn. You can see Harold, the snow monster, in there, because I've seen it on YouTube, but it hasn't shown up in any of my collecting yet. And Storybook Land. This shot they use a lot because they like to go and now zoom in on Monstro's eye. The eye opens and closes, and for years it had broken and it had some tiny little gear. And finally, some guy decided he was going to take it on himself to fix it, and all of a sudden the eye started opening and closing again. Oh, somebody
Lost their balloon.
Yeah. Like I said, this was all totally red, so I was very pleased how this piece came back. I think you're able to go to Disneyland today and visit, and we didn't have to get a reservation, and we don't need fast passes, lightning lanes, or whatever else they have.
Or traffic.
Yeah, this shot's interesting because if you look, you can see the big show building behind it. The Small World is actually in, and they usually don't do shots like that that kind of give away the magic.
Well, the motorboats are running.
Yep. Yep. It looked like
I understand that park is a no-fly zone, so you can't go over and take aerial shots on your own.
No, not anymore. It looked like there was a real quick shot where the cameraman's foot got in the shot, so he was probably hanging off the side of a helicopter, and all of a sudden his foot moved in, and they still used it anyway. All right, hold on tight.
I
And we
figured you did splashdown. There we go.
saw from our video a few weeks ago how the sand valves keep the water level right there at the splashdown zone. That shot that was quick of the girl sitting at the porthole window is about 3 times as long as the guy Seaquarium reel that I did.
So what, Bill, what year was this film?
74.
Okay, so must be old footage because they don't have the guardrails.
Yeah, on the people mover, right?
Yeah, I think that was the first year I ever visited.
76 for me.
Hmm.
So, Bill, you didn't visit Disneyland before 76?
Yeah, it was first time Disney flew
Oh.
me out here they had hired me on in Florida, and then said they changed their mind. The job was going to be in California. And I said I've never been to California, so they flew me out for 5 days to see if I liked it. It was nasty weather back east. It was beautiful out here. I said, "What's not to like?" And off I went. But part of it was here's some free tickets, and why don't you go spend the day tomorrow at Disneyland and see how you like that? So,
Nice. Yeah, my first visit was in 56.
wow.
My mother was pregnant with my sister in all the photos.
I thought this was a nice shot. The bears look pretty realistic there, scratching himself against the tree.
This is the slow mine train ride.
Yeah, I like that ride. I thought it was
Oh
very-
yeah, so did I.
Yeah, great ride. Miss it.
Especially the rock shop at the exit. I love to go in there.
Yep. I love to walk around here on the days the park was closed. It was very peaceful out there.
So,
When
Bill,
was
you
the
could
park
actually
ever
walk
closed?
out on that gravel and all that?
Oh yeah, just walk along the track, and
Yeah.
you could have a great time. There was also they weren't using anymore. It was a track they used to take the mules out on, and the stage coaches and stuff. So all those dirt roads are still out there, but you could just walk along the track, and then most days it was just sitting there, but some days they were doing maintenance. So the mud pots would be going, and the animals would be moving, and it was just kind of weird to be out there and not a soul in sight.
How often do they close like that?
They don't anymore. During the winter, they used to close Mondays and Tuesdays during the
Oh.
winter. So this is not they did the shot there of her, and here she is again, real quick. She was in the background from the boat. You could see her from the boat. Yeah, it used to be Mondays and Tuesdays. The park was closed, and closed at 6 o'clock at night during the winter, which was a surprise. But during those days, you could wander anywhere you went. So I like here in Pirates, I wandered all through the Pirates. I was very amazed when I went on the pirate ship, and you only, you have the guys that are firing the cannon, and they're only built and closed from the waist up that you see, and
Yeah.
down below it's just steel brackets and everything. The illusion is so good that when you see them, you just assume they're pirate, figures, but they're only half figures you see when you walk on the backside of the boat.
Well, the guy with his leg hanging over the bridge doesn't have a leg on the other side.
Yep.
Doesn't even have a peg leg.
Nope. No sense spending money that nobody's gonna see.
Yeah.
Now you told us to ruin the whole illusion.
Yeah, that way. Bear Country became Critter Country, which is now Tatiana's Bayou. Oh, this one I got a kick out of, the Golden Bear Lodge. I saw that and I said, no, that's the Hungry Bear restaurant. Yeah, the first 2 years it was open, it was the Golden Bear Lodge, and
Yeah.
for whatever reason they changed the name of it.
I think it was to link it in with this show here. Kind
Yeah.
of make a mini land, so to speak.
Well, yeah, they had already been building the Country Bears though, so why they didn't, why it was the Golden Bear Lodge? I don't, who knows what are the ways of the Disney, right?
Yeah.
So let's see. So we'll jump from there to let's see, 1963. This says, okay. Let's see where we're going now. Oh no, that was Lake George. We've already seen it. So let's go here to the 64 World's Fair.
Never seen those before.
Now look at the nuns on that shot. Look at the headgear on that. We're not
Wow.
talking the flying
Yeah.
nun.
Yeah,
I
the
remember-
flying nuns.
Yeah, I was in, they were prepping me for, I had my tonsils out when I was 2. And I remember a nun walked around the corner in that particular habit. I started screaming like some kind of monster.
It's very much more ornate than any of the nuns at my school did. Matter of fact, on Monday, I was at a traffic collision. Somebody came around the corner speeding dead on and hit a nun head on. And, wouldn't have known she was a nun. She had a small crucifix on, but it was right outside the convent that she lived in. So I was just thinking how much things had changed. And then she had to be hospitalized. So they had left their car key there, and I said, do we need to get any other keys off? And they said, no, we're fine. We'll take her stuff back to the convent. And I said, well, I just didn't know if she needed, keys for her room. And they said, oh no, they don't lock their own rooms. And I said, well, I didn't know. I said, it's been years since I was in a convent. And the priest turned to me and said, why were you ever in a convent? And I said, oh, because I was in a Catholic school and they were all trying to convince me to skip 4th grade. So some of the nuns wanted to meet with me, but he was saying they don't get a lot of male visitors. And I did skip 4th grade, so they convinced me.
Yeah, the Catholic school I went to were Sisters of Charity of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And it always said BVM behind their names. We always called them the Black Veiled Monsters.
Say Pepsi, please. So another nice day. Not a lot of clouds in the sky. There was certainly a lot of drought going on.
Bright white brass rails.
Yes, yeah. This part was extremely overexposed. Here's we have Emma Kelly Jr. Hey, Emmett, can you take my picture? Well, all right, if you make me.
I thought that was a boombox for a minute.
This is near General Motors, if I remember right. Oh no, that was probably Julimar Gardens there. They had some nice flowers outside of General Motors, but I think that was Julimar Farms. Hey, get your motor running. Get out on the highway.
With all the thousands of photos you have, you ever recognize anybody in these shots?
In my own family movies, yeah. But
Oh,
no,
your own.
I keep looking for people that I would know or whatever. But no.
Never happens.
I've
Bill,
mentioned in my still photo collection, I have found pictures of people at Disneyland and at the fair that they were in, but I've not found any movies of anybody that has recognized themselves.
Bill, in any of the movies or photos that you have that include the Pepsi Pavilion, do any of them have Joan Crawford visiting?
No, no. No, I mean, I had some publicity photos, of her on the boat ride, but no, nothing, nobody just catching her there. About the only celebrity I can remember somebody caught in this film, other than like posing to do the stars of the Hollywood Pavilion was somebody got some nice shots of Soupy Sales doing a remote broadcast from the fair.
Well, then there's all that footage of Lucy Day at.
Yes, right, yeah. I was just saying the usual amateur stuff. There's somebody was like, "Hey, there's Soupy Sales," and he was a big, draw in '65.
I loved his show.
Woo woo. You've seen the outtake with the naked lady?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nothing like doing a live broadcast and breaking up the star, right?
Kind of like the streakers at the game last week.
Yep. That's the statues in Kennebunkport. We're going to be going up there in September, so I have to get some more pictures of it. Inside the Vatican Pavilion, which is now a church in Groton, Connecticut.
Is this like early '64?
Did I imagine so? There was no date on it other than the date code on the film, but everything is so new and clean. But the trees are grown out, so it's not, like the first month or two.
Right, but people are still dressed in coats and that.
Yeah. Still one of the coolest Ferris wheels around to me.
Yeah, I've always, the tire's still there, but it's not a Ferris wheel anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
tire to move, but yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be neat
No,
if
they
they put
even
the Ferris
filled-
wheel back.
They even filled in the slot in the tread where the cars used to go.
Yep. And for a while, they had a giant nail sticking out of it to show how
That's
they,
right.
had run flat capabilities. And then they took the nail out, and some guy bought it and now has it in his yard. And said his wife is still not happy.
Well, he nailed it.
He nailed it, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're on the Ferris wheel now.
You don't see a lot of shots from the Ferris wheel. Always surprised me.
Yeah. Well, one of the things was there's another nun. One of the things was they like they did on the People Mover in what you call it, Disneyland. They put more screening over it to keep people's hands and arms out. So trying to get pictures in the later months was, shooting through wire mesh.
It looked like one of those nuns was pushing a baby carriage.
It was,
Mhm.
but it was probably their niece or nephew.
Right.
See, there's a view through the mesh. You can see why people didn't take a lot of it.
So the mesh was not originally there.
No, and then they had some openings, like you can see there. There was put the mesh there because it came close to the building, and they didn't want people sticking their head or their arms out. Oh, we got a few seconds of New York City. If anybody recognizes the intersection, feel free.
Traffic is a bit lighter.
Yep. So we'll stick with 1964 here. So we're taking a ride around the fair on the glider ride. There's Hawaii. Actually, we must be in a bus there because I just saw the reflection from a window. And we're up high, so yeah, it's probably one of the Greyhound sightseeing buses. In the back of the seat in front of you. Hall of Education, Rheingold. You see how barren some of the grounds are with the drought. This is early because you can see the trees don't have much in the way of leaves. Busy day for the Skyway.
Both operating.
Yep. New Mexico. New Jersey.
Yeah, cool pavilion.
Yep. One of the few that actually won an architectural award.
But it was destroyed too. It didn't get moved anywhere, right?
What's that?
The pavilion was torn down. It was never moved.
Yeah,
That's a pity.
Which pavilion was that?
New Jersey.
Of
More
New
nuts.
Jersey.
Any bear sightings, Don?
No bear on the property. Right now we're seeing a ton of deer. In fact, I just posted some photos today. But no bears. We haven't even seen a bobcat recently.
We
You think
have
those deer are dangerous? You think the deer are dangerous? They walk right up to me on my lawn.
They don't come up to us. Our dog tends to bark at them if they get too close to the house. So they're
Yeah.
we have a mountain lion that's loose in our neighborhood right now.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Oof.
I wish I had a trail cam out there.
A lot
I
of
did get
people,
I'm sorry.
a lot of people are getting it on their Ring cameras as it walks by their house in the middle of the
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, I got the picture of the moose last week, but not on my trail cams. I had to go find him. But I'd love to get a mountain lion picture.
They can't. There's actually they think two of them. They think one's a male and one's a female, and they both look quite large, quite healthy. So
Maybe more than two soon.
yeah. So we're over in Africa again, early in the year. The trees are bare and there's no roof over the performers yet.
That's better than a hungry mountain lion, Bill.
Yes, that's true.
That was probably their first trip to New York.
I imagine so.
That's cute, Darren. I like that.
Monkey
It's
see,
the
monkey
character.
do. During the winter, a lot of these animals spent their winter vacation at the Bronx Zoo, and then after the fair ended, a lot of them were donated to the zoo. Cheaper than bringing them back home. That's a quick panorama.
Yeah, he seems to be a little zippy on the camera.
Film was expensive.
Yeah,
What's the big rock? You see that by the US Pavilion?
yeah. I can't find the control to go back. I have to look at
Don't
it.
worry about it.
Yeah, and that pavilion was supported just on 4 piers.
Yeah, built by American Bridge Company. Same ones that built the Bell and the Unisphere. So let's go up on the Skyway and use our zoom. Okay, that's better.
Rocket thrower. Whoa, he is zippy.
Nice empty day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wonder why.
Yeah, probably during the work week and The kids are in school still.
I never found the place that empty.
No, most of the days I went, it seemed like get online, get used to it. Hey, escorter is waiting for a fare.
But do you think that even with what looks like low attendance, there probably were still lines for GM and Ford and all that?
Yeah, I imagine so.
I discovered that at when I went to Seville to Expo 92. We walked on the grounds and it's like, wow, you know, not too crowded, but we get to the popular pavilions and there were 2-hour waits.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is done with the new lens, and you can see the indoor shots came on a lot better than indoor shots in the past. It's able to get a lot more light out of the film, and then the computer doesn't go crazy trying to adjust the gain levels on it.
What kind of lens is that?
It's a Nikon enlarger lens, a 50
Ah.
millimeter Nikon enlarger lens.
Right.
And I was saying I just wish the guy had shipped the unit with that lens, you know, when he bought it. I mean, it would have added another $100 or something onto the cost of the unit. But or I wish I had realized you could upgrade it like I did, you know, way earlier than I actually realized it. So, but
So-
hey, life.
You bought it used, I assume.
The lens, the scanner knew the lens used, yeah.
Right.
A guy went off and he bought a bunch of lenses to test, you know, he had the stock lens. Matter of fact, I'm making a comparison film again of various lenses. Lowenbrow in a hurry, but he did all his tests and he decided of 3 lenses he bought, he liked number 1 the best. And did anybody want number 2? And I snapped it up.
Yeah.
So it's worked out well.
Well, you just have to go back and rescan all the ones you scanned before. Shouldn't take but a few years.
Yeah, no time at all. No. You know, the scanning part's the easy part. It's the going in the editing and taking out all the splices and all that stuff that, you know, the color correcting and the scanning part goes pretty quickly.
Hmm.
The scanner goes in near real time. Matter of fact, it goes at 17 frames per second, and 8 millimeter film is 16 frames a second. So you know, you have to adjust for it. But it's the all the post production that that takes the time. Okay. Yeah, let's see. As long as I'm in this folder, we'll see if the guys from Disney let me get by with this. But back in the good old days of Disney home movies, you would, you know, today of course you go buy your Blu-ray or your 4K versions of everything. But back in the early days, you had to go and buy an 8 millimeter film, and you get like this particular one. Obviously, it's an extract from Snow White, but we get it in glorious black and white, and we get it in a glorious sound. Copy came in black and white. Color was expensive back then.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. All right, we got some other stuff. So let me go find. I have to switch to another folder. So just give me a second.
And my nieces are always amazed when if we're looking at old family photos. I'll tell them like, yeah, we watched everything on TV in black and white. Yeah, it's like you lived in a black and white world. It's like basically.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the old shows, a lot of the original movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they
Luckily, they didn't colorify like
yeah.
and destroy.
Well,
Yeah.
as long as both versions are available, I'm fine with it. But yeah.
I'll give you that. I agree with you.
So now we're going back to things that are in the pipeline. So we're not all cropped in or anything. But another nice day, and everybody's so well dressed with their suits and their big giant purses, and coming in from the subway, and we get to Gotham Plaza.
It's interesting we're seeing the split frames.
Yeah, that's one thing with the new lens. What I did on a lot of the old ones was I would zoom in and crop in on the image. With this particular one, the size of the lens, it's much wider. It's about 2.5 times wider than the other lens. I can't physically zoom in all the way because it hits on something else, another part of the scanner. So what I will do is I will digitize all these down. We mentioned in the prior week about stuff that shows up in the extra footage, outside the gate over to the left. And you really see that in some movies. Everybody stays on the sidewalk.
I never understood that.
Yeah, it's
Polite.
people walking the sidewalk, vehicles right in the road. People behaved in 1964. Look how well dressed everybody is.
Even the gentleman wearing dungarees is wearing a button-down shirt.
Yeah.
Still.
Mom looks like she's dressed to be a hostess at a pavilion or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Grandpa doesn't look too happy though.
No. He is.
Oh my God.
I like
Wow, for the camera.
I hate to say this, that looks a lot like me when I was that age.
Yeah, today that little kid's about 70 years old.
I know, it's scary when I look at some of these and think, oh my God, they're all gone now.
No, actually, he's
Oh.
probably in his 60s because he looks like it's about 5 years old. That would
Yeah.
put him at 66,
Mhm.
67, my age.
Mm-hmm.
I like it in the previous footage that we just looked at, you could see that cage turning.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the astral fountain. That was very impressive. And we're outside of Missouri Pavilion. You could look.
I remember seeing this.
Yeah.
I remember looking in there as a child.
Which pavilion was the capsule outside of?
Missouri.
Missouri.
They also had the mock-up over at the space park, and then they brought in the real space capsules over there, and you can actually go there.
Hi.
Today, you would cringe because people up there leaning on the real thing, and today would have a plastic shield or everything around it.
Right.
But Missouri was where the McDonnell Douglas was building those. The Mercury capsules. They were very proud. They had it outdoors.
That was one thing nice about Expo 86 that really impressed my dad was at the Soviet pavilion, you could actually walk through the spacecraft.
Yeah.
You had to crawl basically.
Again, early on, because they've ended up putting small fences around these garden areas to try to keep people from taking shortcuts through them. Bunch of people all dressed identical back there, Girl Scouts.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh, where's our none?
It would be fun to identify the individual orders. that they
okay,
belong
guys,
to.
there was a police car real quick.
It's interesting. We see the nuns, but we never see a priest.
Well, they don't stand out as much, no.
Well, yeah, weren't
Just
they
looks
all
like a
wearing-
guy in a suit with a
Yeah,
white
they just
tie.
wore regular street clothes, didn't they, when they went to something like
That
this?
guy could be a priest right there. We wouldn't know it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the same kid.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But no, the only way you know it was a priest, it was a Greek Orthodox.
Yeah.
Not
That was
too
kind of an
bad.
interesting optical illusion back at the first view of the Skyway. The one looked like it was stopped on
Yes.
the cable, and the other was zipping by.
Yeah.
Had to look at it and go, oh no, I guess it's moving towards the other one. It's just because he's panning with it.
Right, keep in mind, there were two separate sets of cables though, so one could stop
Yeah.
and the other could still go.
Right. No, I understand
Yeah.
that, but it just looked like it was, and then it
Okay,
was like,
yeah.
oh no, it's not. It's really moving.
Yep. Grandpa's thinking that bench looks pretty good about now.
Yeah.
That was the former Lagoon of Nations for the 39 World's Fair, which became the Pool of Industry. And we're on the Bell system now.
Oh,
I can actually see the vehicles there moving.
yeah, that's an interesting shot.
Yeah, it's too bad the fountains couldn't be preserved
I
because
know.
they actually would have gone with Moses' plans for the park, I think.
Yeah, they would have really been great. So we're going up the escalator into GE. Tower of Light. Stroller parking area. Like I said, this is where I think the new lens does a nice job on indoor stuff.
It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Yep. Somebody just that I used to work with, she wrote to me and said her boyfriend is making a man cave in the basement and he wants to have that song play when somebody walks down the stairs. So I just sent it to her. But that would probably get a little annoying after a while, but here you go.
Well, you could switch it out with Small World every now and then.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, no, 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 no.
How about
That's
this?
if you want to get rid of people in the basement.
How about,
Yeah.
how about this is a song that never ends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the only person that really likes that song.
Small World?
Yeah, I mean, I could listen to it forever.
Oh God, when I was working inside the building and the music was playing, after about 40 minutes of it, you just wanted to scream. Okay, guys, what kind of cars are those? Red and blue.
Oh, yeah.
That was a
Didn't get a chance to
Chevrolet, it
focus.
looked like. The red one looked like a Chevy.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to focus in on them.
The station wagon looked like a 61 Chevrolet Impala. I couldn't tell from the new car.
Now, Bill, will you make any attempt to clean the dirt?
Yeah, it's gone through what you call it, the initial one of that, but then I use the next thing after this I will use a thing called Neat Video. And Neat Video does a really great job of taking out excessive camera grain, but also does a very nice job on dirt and scratches. So the stuff that's like there's a piece of dirt right up at the very top of the frame that's in every shot because it was dirt in the gate. The Neat Video is going to assume that's part of the scene because it's there in every shot. But otherwise, it analyzes the frame, sees a difference in the next frame. It basically does a 3-frame comparison and says this thing is only in one frame, not on frame 1 or 3, but it's in frame 2. That must be dirt. I'll try to take it out. And it does a really, really good job on it. So that's stuff that you see the crud up at the top of it. I was doing one last night where the guy must never, ever, ever have thought about cleaning the camera, even after 10 years of owning it. I mean, it was like, how do you not see that crap when you project it? But a lot of projectors had a different gate. You didn't see all this anyway.
Right, it would have been cropped out, right, when it was projected. Yeah.
This one from last night that was so bad. I mean, the whole upper left corner is just full of stuff. But yeah, like I said, the computer can do some pretty neat stuff in terms of taking out the dirt and scratches.
Bill, do you ever
savvy enough to know to clean his camera. You know, I have the same issue with my Nikon. I've got a couple little water spots on the sensor. Actually, they're on the UV filter on the sensor, but I just have never gotten around to cleaning because I just don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
So I take them out with Photoshop.
My son's girlfriend, who works for the Channel 1 News here, she got me a cleaning kit for my Nikon because I had the same exact problem, and it worked. It cleaned the sensor. She was very gentle with it. She says you just followed the directions and it came out perfect. It's like brand new.
Yeah, my
Cool.
Nikon, I have to do the same thing. It also has a feature in it where you can tell it to clean itself, and it does some vibration of the sensor.
Yeah,
So it's a dislodge dust.
right.
But I have
That'll get rid of dust and dirt, but not water spots.
no,
Yeah.
but I have gotten back from shooting a roll of film and looking and go, oh crap,
I had to have my Canon repaired because one of the control dials went intermittent. But while they had it there, they cleaned everything to brand new condition. It was like taking your car to the shop and getting a free detail.
That's pretty good.
I love the keep steering.
He's doing a great job. He's like in so many movies. Carol mentioned all the time about somebody's on TV and they're turning the wheel like that, so the car be going all over the damn place.
So is this
He's
the
making
same,
a left turn.
is this the same family? Yeah, the same
Yeah.
lady. Yeah.
Yeah, this is all one reel. Runs about 20. It runs about 30 minutes. This one reel.
Wayne, did you have your Canon fixed at a local repairer, or send it
No,
off?
at Canon in California.
Ah, okay.
Boy, Mickey got tall.
Yeah, they probably couldn't get the Disneyland version, Paul Castle, to go back and do it there. So you wonder who they picked. Oh, they've got pirate hat or Continental Soldier hats. They've been a Continental Insurance, who gave out free hats for a very short period of time.
I was going to ask if they were free.
I think they were. I think they gave out free hats. That they were made out of, heavy cardboard paper sort of thing.
Nice helicopter shot.
I'm sure the neighbors are glad the day they took the heliport out.
I still land helicopters up there with Flight Simulator, but it's hard to do with the restaurant on top now.
Yeah, right.
Very small space to put them in.
Wasn't there always a restaurant on top?
Yeah, but they built another level up there where the
Oh,
where the helipad was. They added another one up there.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's an extra catering hall.
You can still land things up there, but there's very little space in which to do it.
So all the Ford tractors down below. It was interesting when I worked at the Boy Scout camp up in the Catskills. There was a big Ford tractor dealer right in the town, Livingston Manor. And I just remember the first time I went to the town and see a Ford dealer, on Long Island, you'd see all the new Ford cars. Up there, they had a whole big thing about the new line of Ford tractors, and I had no idea that Ford even made tractors because we didn't see those on Long Island. And it was just weird. It wasn't a car dealership; it was a tractor dealership. So everything.
My dad has a 39 Ford tractor.
Really?
Mhm.
But that's fun to get parts for these days.
Is it in operational condition?
It used to be. I don't know if it is at the moment.
We're up to 65 now because the paint job had changed on Chrysler.
Oh
I much prefer the 64 version.
I think those bright colors, op art was kind of, making this encroachment.
That color scheme kind of goes with the appliance colors at the time, harvest gold and avocado.
Yeah,
Right.
avocado.
Yeah.
I really do wish he'd lingered on the shots longer, because she's taking pictures of things I haven't seen much of.
Well, that's the fun thing for me when I'm doing these is, getting a different angle or things. And every now and then I'll see something that would just wake up a memory from one of my trips.
Bill, do you remember seeing lots of nuns there?
Yes, absolutely. I was always scared to death I was going to run into one of the nuns from my school.
Were you playing hooky?
No, I pretty much was there in summer and on weekends and that. I don't recall. We did go there with the Boy Scouts, but it was an excused day off from school.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, my parents, that if I had said, "Hey, I want to go play hooky from school and go to the World's Fair," I probably would have been sitting down for a week. So no.
Yeah.
You kind of wonder, why were there so many nuns at the fair?
Well,
That's typical.
Yeah.
Brussels was the same. Expo 67 was the same.
Yeah, that's right.
Get to go to a vacation and get away from everything. And here at the fair, they got VIP treatment at the Vatican Pavilion.
Did some of them dress in normal street clothes though when they went out?
Not back then.
No, I was gonna say my aunt, who was a nun, she was one of the more liberal orders. She started wearing conservative street clothes back around 66, maybe 67.
Was that after Vatican II?
I guess, yeah, but she still wore a little veil, not the big heavy veil, but a little,
They had a name too. They had if I remember right, I'm a Jew. Don't come to me for answers, but I do know it had a name.
well, what had it? I'm sorry, what had it?
Each part of a
Oh.
nun's habit had a name for it.
Yeah, I don't know if that little veil was called a mantilla. It might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just had rabbis who would whack you with a book.
Well, nuns did the same, rulers or books.
Rulers.
I was going to say they used rulers, didn't they?
Yeah.
Rulers were good, man. You get whacked with a Torah, man. That hurt.
Well, I've probably mentioned the story.
But they might have been wearing yarmulkes. I haven't seen that either.
Yeah. Well, I think I might have mentioned the story about my school went to split sessions because we were so crowded, the baby booming stuff. So I went to school in the morning, and my younger brother Jim, a year and a half underneath me, went in school in the afternoon. And I was sitting home one day watching cartoons, eating chocolate chip cookies, enjoying myself, much like I do today, right? But he came in the front door and just started pounding on me, yelling, "I'm not Billy Cotter, I'm not Billy Cotter," which I was pretty well aware he wasn't, but it's like my mother had to sort that out. He was at class and the nun kept giving him a hard time. Jimmy, what's the square root of 197 million? I don't know. Well, your brother would know, and what's the capital of Peru and what's the population? Well, your brother would know. And finally, at one point, he says to the nun, "I'm not my brother. Don't you know that?" And whacked with the ruler. So he came home, and my mother had to go to the school and have a talk with the nuns about please don't compare the two kids. And my brother was much more athletically oriented than me. So, he definitely had his skill set. I had mine. But I still remember that day. What the hell did I do to deserve this?
That's like Leave It to Beaver. Wally was always the athlete.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Bill, today, instead of your mother having to go back and talk to the nun, it would be your lawyer going back to talk to the nun, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays,
I had that. No, I had that. My brother was a radical, and they wanted to suspend him. So he got a lawyer from the ACLU. And my mother goes in and sees this guy with a long, long ponytail. My mother goes, "Who are you?" He goes, "Oh, I'm your son's lawyer." And she takes one look at my brother and is like, "You're going to get it when you get home." And they went into the principal's office, and the lawyer basically says it was his First Amendment rights. He was handing out leaflets before school. He didn't do it during. And we're ready to go to federal court tomorrow if you'd like. And they dropped the whole thing. He graduated, and I got the brunt of it for the next 2 years because I was 2 years behind him.
Yeah, no, that's funny. Does anybody recognize who these celebrities are that are going to put their hands in concrete?
That he does look familiar. What's that? Who?
That looks like Anthony Perkins a little bit.
Yeah,
just,
that's
yeah.
That's what I was
he
wondering.
looked very much familiar.
Psycho?
Yeah, Psycho, right.
Yeah.
That is him.
I'm trying to figure out who she is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe that's his
Mrs.
mother.
Perkins.
Well, was he married to an actress, I wonder, at some point? That's her.
No, he didn't get married till late life. He was actually a closeted gay man.
Oh.
You know, he used to do the arranged dates with like Natalie Wood and all that. He eventually did marry. I think had a kid or two.
Like Raymond Burr.
Yeah, so many.
It's not him. They look like dignitaries from a foreign country or something like that visiting. Maybe like a queen or not a queen, but maybe a prince and princess or somebody like that.
No, they were over at the Hollywood Pavilion.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Tony.
Yeah, they were doing their handprints in the cement.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
celebrity.
that didn't look like Tony Perkins.
All right, quick. Let's turn on the TARDIS. Jump in. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Where does handprints go when they close the fair?
Nobody seems to know. And the trouble is I've misplaced my key to my TARDIS and I can't get in. Even the assembled hordes of Genghis Khan can't get in. Line from one.
Probably Joey has all the handprints.
Yeah.
Well, Joey joined us, so if he's here, he can tell us he has them.
He's here somewhere.
I wish I had them.
Oh, is that you, Joey? You don't have them.
All right.
Yeah, no one seems to know what happened to them. The entire Hollywood Pavilion, a lot of the props were missing as well.
Oof.
Probably somebody has a very interesting patio in out in Massapequa.
Yeah. Probably the demolition contractors picked up a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, possibly.
There's a guy that had a house. He had the main demolition contract for the fair, and he took home all sorts of like the wood panels from the Philippine Pavilion and all sorts of walkways and wrought iron stuff, and put it in a house. I think it was up in Glen Cove, and the house sold for about 3-4 years ago. But you could take a virtual tour of it and go online and see all the parts of the fair the guy had brought home.
Well, if you were in demolition, wouldn't you be tempted to help yourself?
Oh yeah. I mean, but the thing for the most part was he was buying it so he could sell the pieces off to other people, but he just kept some of the pieces himself.
Wonder how much Joey's got.
By the way, it's right there. See how the lights are changing on the General Motors Pavilion?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What was the idea for that big cantilevered roof?
Catch your eyes and impress you.
It was impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, very impressive, even by today's standards. Bill, when did they change the Ferris wheel to Uniroyal?
About 3 months in the fair, they changed it.
3 months into the fair?
Yeah, into the fair. Then when it first opened, it had a temporary cover over it because they had, they were getting ready to change it with the corporate buyout or renaming, but they didn't want to put it out on the street just yet.
Oh, okay, makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to my site on my changes through the the seasons thing, there's a page on it.
Yeah, I probably read it because I think I read pretty much everything on your site.
We just have to go back again.
I know. Do you get paid per view?
Nope. You'll notice there's no ads or banners or anything on there. I try to make it just go there to have fun and not.
And it is fun. And be like, really, I mean, I commend you. It really is fun.
Well, again, this is what I like about the movies where things change and move, and there's still pictures that are just there. No, I had so much fun at the fair, and it changed. It literally changed my life and my career and everything else. And if I could just share it with people, I've said this before, it makes so much more sense to me to share it than just have it sitting here stuffed in a closet. That's why I appreciate you folks joining, and then we can go back and catch ourselves. This is code IBM. There's the master of ceremony.
All these night shots remind me that we still haven't identified the pavilion that's in the opening of the Johnny Carson show.
No. There goes the host back up into the egg.
Is it an interior shot at the opening of the Carson show?
No, it appears to be exterior.
Exterior, but it's just at night and hard to identify.
Yeah,
it's like a zoom in of a pavilion. It's got some glass panes, and behind them are circular lighted emblems. And it's just nothing I've seen in any other photograph.
Yeah. That's a great shot.
Yeah.
I still can't make rhyme or reason out of those street lights, though, with a lot of
No.
different colored cubes. I know there was a method to it, but I can't figure it out.
They gave up promoting it. Nobody could figure it out. It was supposed to be the size and the colors would tell you how far away you were from the Unisphere.
Each
Oh,
cube
really?
was about 12 by 12 inches, wasn't it?
About
Yeah.
14 by 14. They're pretty
They're
good
pretty
size.
big.
So, Bill, I didn't realize that because the 39 fair had that thing like the Trilon and Paris Fair were like pure white, and then the colors darkened as you got
Right.
away from it. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody put a lot of thought into the design of those lights, but it went past everybody. Nobody could figure it out.
Solar fountain. You can see the lights moving on GE there. Tower.
Well, the roof didn't revolve. It was the lights just changing,
Lights. Yeah.
lights going off and on.
Did you see the wall revolve of the theater?
Oh,
You
yeah.
did. Yeah.
You did. I mean, I remember at Disneyland you did, but it was a different architectural style.
No,
I
it's
think
the same thing. The wall moved.
Okay.
I think that
But the
wall was
door-
covered with mosaic tiles on the
Oh, this
inside.
is great. Look at the sign there, Candy Johnson, right?
Oh yeah.
And there we go. We
There
get
she is.
disco dancing. This stuff that drove Robert Moses crazy. He didn't like this stuff at his fair
She's
So why was it there?
because it made money.
yeah.
He may have hated it, but he liked money better.
Yeah.
She's in one or two of the beach movies.
Yep. Yeah, she danced up a storm.
Oh yeah, there's one of them. It's like it's amazing her body could even do that.
Who was that?
Candy Johnson was her name.
Candy Johnson.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Randy, it was one of the beach party movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Like I said, this was where I was glad to get this lens because this indoor stuff I can find.
That's a physical workout.
I
Eric
know.
Von Zipper.
Yeah.
What's
I think it's
interesting,
ideal
I
and
knew
you
his
can
cousin.
find-
I worked with his cousin.
Did you?
His name was Lembeck.
Harvey Lembeck.
And yeah, he went on to be a teacher for acting.
Harvey,
and
yes, he did. Here's
Harvey, yes.
This is all the GE line.
Harvey Lembeck, his son is an actor too.
Really?
Yeah, he was on One Day at a Time. He played, I think it was like when Valerie Bertinelli got married towards the end of the series. I think he played her husband.
Huh.
Michael Lem.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Well, his cousin Peter was a lieutenant who worked for me in the Bronx. And the one amazing thing was he was Jewish and he was a mechanic. And he had this Volvo with about 300,000 miles. The body was not in great shape, but the engine was in perfect running condition. He did it all himself.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful guy to work with. Wonderful.
The fireworks are just great every night. Fantastic. Even when the fair ran into money issues, they kept the the fireworks show and everything going at night.
Fireworks are not as expensive as you think.
Yeah, but doing it for 6 months out of the year every night, that's got to add up.
Bill, did all the fireworks land over the water, or
Well,
did they?
That was the intent.
Not when it's windy.
Yeah.
Yeah, every now and then they had one come down someplace else, but the intent was they all came down over the pool of industry.
Bill, overall, did the World's Fair make money or did it lose?
Oh no.
Oh no, it
Lost.
lost a ton of money. But I just did an interview with somebody the other day about World's Fairs. You have two different things: the fair corporation itself, the bond owners, and the surrounding city. So you take the fair corporation here; they sold bonds in it, and they only paid off about 60 cents on the dollar. So anybody that thought we were going to get our money back probably did not. But in one bank interview, a guy from Chase or City National or something said, whatever we lost on the bonds, we made up in the loans we made to the people that built the pavilions because they needed the money and they needed to pay it off. And they also, for hotels that were being built and that sort of thing. And then the city made money with sales tax because everybody that came in that bought a ticket, the city got a cut. Every hot dog, the city got a cut. Every hat with a feather, the city got a cut. So overall, fairs generated a tremendous amount of money, but the fair corporation itself, if you want to make money, you do not invest in a World's Fair.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
talked
they
about
lost-
this
they
before.
lost
Invest
money
in
in
the
39.
infrastructure.
Yeah, the infrastructure, right? Very few World's Fairs have made money. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Yeah, 39 lost and 64 was no better.
Yeah, real quick, and there's a shot back there where the lights were just coming back on. You could see bing, 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 they were going on because they would dim all the lights around the fountain as the show was going on at night and everything, and then they'd pop them all back up. So it got very dark out in that area, which made the watching the thing that much nicer. So that's that particular one. Let's see. And now we can go, let's see.
Somebody mentioned the word mantilla, and it reminded me that Alan Sherman did a parody of the Mexican hat dance with a lyric. They say that they shot Pancho Villa because he danced on his mother's mantilla, and the message did not reach Garcia. He was out somewhere dancing on hats.
As I mentioned,
Good, Wayne.
sometimes you get a roll of film and there's other stuff on it. And on this particular one, we'll go back here. My first image was, oh, a giant pig. So where are we now? And we are now at the Danbury, Connecticut Fair. So if anybody's gone to the Danbury Fair or heard about it, you will see a giant, state fair.
How do you know it was Danbury?
Because the signs say the Great Danbury Fair.
Okay.
That's a giveaway.
That's the giveaway.
Is this the same family?
Yes, it is.
Okay. She's got a different hairdo, more updated hairdo now.
Yeah. Just like the 64 fair, there's people that go crazy about collecting stuff about the Danbury Fair. So if I stuck this film on eBay, it would sell like instantly. It's always people, do you have any more footage of the Danbury Fair? It was a very popular event.
Does it still exist?
I don't think so. I think it stopped about 8 years ago or so. Somebody can look that up. But I think they finally gave up and they sold off a lot of the figures and stuff.
So it was like a county fair or state
Yeah,
fair?
right.
County.
Take a look.
It's like the big E fair up in Massachusetts. You know, all sorts of multiple counties all come together.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Santa Clara County Fair, for, up by Santa Clara, San Jose, where I come from, still a pretty big deal.
Yeah, we used to go to the LA County Fair all the time, but
I haven't been for years.
yeah, it gets so when they moved it now to spring instead of fall, and fall was way too damn hot out there. But
Yeah.
you know, they've really downplayed. We used to like to go and just look at the animals and stuff, and they've really downplayed that, and now it's much more halls of come and buy some widget gadget for your kitchen sort of crap.
Yeah. You can actually take the metro out there now. I think
I can't imagine the route I would have to take to do it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, me too. I'd have to make. Yeah, you'd be better off driving.
Yeah. Looks like
Apparently, the Danbury Fair is now a shopping mall, a very large one.
Yeah.
The Orange County Fair is still a lot of fun.
Bill, when you worked at OSR,
Mhm.
did you and the boys go to a fair that was right across the Pennsylvania line?
Yes.
You remember the name?
No, I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. I'm sorry, I don't.
No, because Dylan used to go to it, and I was trying to remember the name. I was wondering, okay, is it that much of a tradition for the OSR boys to hit the road during the break?
Love those Chevys.
It was cheap,
Yeah.
you know. Well, this guy, besides going to fairs and stuff, he loved air shows, and I've got reel after reel of stuff he took at air shows. A lot of times, not realizing that we can't see an awful lot because the planes are off in the distance, but just let this one play a moment, then we get back to the fair, if I recall correctly.
No crashes, I take it.
No, and in the Demolition Derby films, boy, there were some.
You're working this week?
Yeah, it wasn't a Demolition Derby, it was a stock car race, which is a definite difference between the two. But there were sometimes they just went off the field and did other things. And this is me attempting one of my usual landings.
Yeah. No, you want your nose first landings?
Yeah.
Are you a pilot, Bill?
What's that?
You a pilot, Bill?
Yeah.
You are a pilot.
Yep. I haven't flown lately, but yes.
You
Bill, was it the Wayne County Fair?
What's that?
Was it the Wayne County Fair?
Oh goodness, I don't know. That's in Pennsylvania. I don't remember what
Right.
the name was. Yeah.
I was just wondering. When I speak to my son, I'll find out. Because apparently,
yeah, the big thing over there, there was the guy Leland Tuttle, who was one of the caretakers at camp. He loved to go over there and watch what he called the hoochie coochie girls. So once Leland was telling us all the stories about all the topless dancers over at the fair, off we went. Now I think we're in Miami now.
Valentine beer.
So were they really topless or
I think they were topless with tassels, if I remember correctly.
Scantily clothed?
Yes. That was sort of a rite of passage to go over there and watch the hoochie coochie girls.
Yeah, our rite of passage in the Bay Area was to go see Carol Doda.
Oh yeah, right.
At the Condor Club.
So where is this again that we're looking at?
Miami.
Oh, Miami. Okay, I missed that.
Yep.
There's an Impala, ragtop.
There was a Corvair after it.
No, that was a Ford. Their small car. They also made a little
Falcon.
Yeah, Falcon. That was a Falcon.
Yeah, no foreign cars.
Corvair just had those small little round tail lights.
Oh, right.
So
And now if you can lay your hands on one, it's amazing.
And we get the excitement of taking a train ride through the orange groves.
Watching the oranges grow.
Yeah. Again, the guy, sometimes they just get the focus or the f-stop totally wrong on these things.
Bill, the orange on the left, it's obviously been exposed to light. I know at the beginning you'd get it. Regularly, you had to flip it over, right? Halfway through.
Yeah, halfway through.
And you get it again there.
Yeah.
And then I guess when they developed the film, they would cut it. Right.
Yeah, it was all 16 millimeter film with dual perforations, and then you would run it to the end of the 25 feet of it, and then flip it over, and then film the next half, and then they would split it, and then splice the two pieces together.
And of course, and what you just said, it was 16 millimeter film. Makes total sense, but I never thought of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how they really got into it. They were making 16 millimeter, and then somebody figured out how to do this, and they had these very, very precise splitters to do it.
Yeah.
And, unfortunately, some people, would be very good. They'd carry a black bag with them, take the film out, flip it over, and others would just, it's okay, and they end up with like 8 feet of, damage on either side of the flip.
Yeah, we would always try to sit in the shade while we
Yeah.
were flipping the film or putting it in, but still got it.
We will get to the fair. Big excitement though, going and visiting an orange grove. If you were from New York State and you flew down to Florida for your Christmas, or you drove down for Christmas vacation and be able to see real oranges. Our tree this year in our backyard had what a bumper crop of oranges we've had out here.
Yeah, your house.
Yeah.
Are they good, sweet oranges?
Oh yeah, they're really good.
My sister had an orange tree in her backyard that they were the most bitter oranges ever.
We live across from a park. This whole area at one point was an orange grove, and the trees in the park the oranges over there are nice to look at and just about non-usable. But people will come by with pickers and, oh my God, free oranges, and well, get them home and see how much you like them.
Yeah.
Right, possibly they were Valencias. Those were grown a lot. They used them in juicing, but they mixed them with others because they themselves are not sweet. They're pretty bitter.
That's probably exactly what it is. Now that film there had the splice came apart, so now I put it back together, and I believe we're at Seaquarium now. We see the manta rays and stuff.
What is the soil like at your place that the oranges like?
What's that, Wayne?
What is the soil like that the oranges
We have
grow?
very, very clay-like soil right where I am, so it's terrible for growing.
Is it acidic soil or?
Yeah, it is. This is again Miami Seaquarium.
I was always upset they ripped out that monorail. It's cool.
Yeah.
Real streamlined.
I didn't realize they had a monorail at this park.
Yeah, you saw it a few frames back.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, exactly.
I think it's only been gone about 10 years.
Well, looks like the score isn't going in Sparkle's favor. And Brunswick,
chance.
there was a thing in the right there, Brunswick, they were keeping score of their bowling. Flashbacks of my scuba diving days.
You know what kind of fish that was?
No, not offhand. Like I said, lots of real quick shots. Still got the scuba gear out in the garage. I have to think about that someday. Too many hobbies, too little time.
Yep.
Is it one of those big metal helmets with the cage on the outside?
No, I wasn't quite into that.
Is that you in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, just walking
Big-
along?
You know, they had one of those suits from 20,000 Leagues in the archives, and when you pick that thing up and the weight of the boots and everything, oh my God, it was incredible.
In Key Largo, there's a gentleman who has a school there for hyperbaric courses, and he does have a suit, and you can do it. But like you said, it is close to 100 pounds of lead
Oh yeah,
and canvas. And if you're claustrophobic, you're not doing it.
no. No,
I
that,
gave up my scuba diving after doing Dive Quest at Epcot. That was my last dive.
oh, you did it there at Epcot?
Oh yeah. Oh man, it's expensive now, but if you've never done that, I highly recommend the experience.
What was this?
In Epcot, you can dive in the tank at the Living Seas.
Oh, yeah.
And so
You
yeah,
could
I
do
did
it
that.
also at the aquarium in Atlanta. And again, it's not cheap.
No, it
Dive.
isn't cheap, but it was cheaper
It's
when I
worth
did
it.
it. But
Well,
yeah,
or
you have all these things swimming right up to you that you'd never thought you'd see right
Mhm.
in your face. It's just amazing.
Has it always been something you could do at Epcot?
For a long time, it was. I think I did it around 2000. So yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, that's
But it's
about
still
the
there.
last time I was there, around 2000.
I still have my NAUI Advanced Divers card, so.
Yeah.
Hi, folks, we're having fun at the beach.
I was gonna say hi there. How are you? That's a goofy shaped cake there on that camera.
Yeah,
The top and the right there. Look at it. That must be a lot of dirt.
no, that's just the way it's formed. Don't-
Really? Mm.
This is actually relatively clean. I don't know how much of Miami we have here. Oh, with the birds. Hitchcock was right.
Not take food on the beach. You will meet Mr. Gull.
Oh yeah. Hang on, let me zoom up here. We end up with all sorts of other family stuff, swimming pools. Come on. Okay, okay, we're going to Catskill Game Farm.
$45.
So Catskill Game Farm, been there in a couple of these past movie visits.
Yeah, I need to drive up there and see it.
You can stay there in the giraffe house.
Yeah, it's expensive and it's booked out for years.
Yeah, it really is expensive.
I
This
actually
is such
wasn't
a
going to do it.
great spot to go to, and you know, as a kid, I went there. I took my kids there.
Are the animals are all gone now, right?
Oh yeah, they had quite a scandal. They found out they were raising them and selling them to people for captive hunting farms. So they, you know, like, hey, if you ever wanted to shoot a giraffe, come out to my ranch in Texas, and I got a giraffe you can shoot. You know, that sort of stuff.
Horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, basically a family owned it, ran it for years, and like everything else, the new guys came in, tried to make some quick bucks on it, and drove it into the ground. Then it sat empty probably for about 20 years, and so whoever the current owners are have opened it up so you can come in, walk around the empty enclosures and that, but then you can stay there in the giraffe house. And as I think it was Joey said, it's very expensive.
Yeah. If you want to, there's an episode of Mysteries of the Abandoned that has a scene on that farm.
Oh, it doesn't.
Yeah, they got it on HBO if you go hunting for it. They talk about the history, and they were just opening as a bed and breakfast. And
Yeah, if you're familiar with the Catskills, like the camp that Scott and I talked about was in the southern Catskills. This was on the northern Catskills in the aptly named town of Catskill, New York. But this was closer to Albany than it was to New York City. You know, so the Catskills have some very different flavors as far as mountain range and you know the type of towns and attractions and everything that were in the Catskills. And now we're at the fair. The 64 season. There we still got the roof over the amphitheater there. We're at the parking lot looking in. You might have seen a cabin cruiser. Oh, there's the same capsule again. Cabin cruiser anchored out in the lake. Never saw what it was there for and you know how you'd visit it or whatever, but it was anchored out there for all sorts of time. And if you were claustrophobic, boy, you wouldn't want to be in that sucker. Those are Simcas. I didn't know that because I read it.
the cars,
Yeah.
never heard of the Simca.
Yeah, it's a foreign car that was part of the Chrysler line.
Probably the world's most photographed helicopter.
Yeah.
You know what was painted on the belly of the helicopter, like New York Airways? Or...
Yes, and the N number of the helicopter.
Gotcha. Yeah, because airlines are starting to paint their name on the bellies again. Emirates started it several years ago, and you know, Delta adopted it. I think others have.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I always wonder how many people took tumbles down those steps.
Shouldn't laugh because we're getting to that age.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of handrails.
Yeah.
I've fallen down my stairs at home twice, and
Oh,
luckily, you know, went into a tuck and roll and got a couple of bruises, but that was it.
Yeah, I have a friend a bit older than I am who broke his neck
Hey.
3 or 4
Oh,
weeks ago,
boy.
falling down the stairs. He's recovering.
Oh, wow.
this is Montana.
Yeah, a lady I used to work with fell down her stairs. And another lady I worked with was her best friend. I hadn't heard of her, so went to see what was going on and had the key to her home and couldn't open the door. Well, she had fallen down the stairs right up against the front door and bled out.
Oh,
my.
Yeah, it was really sad.
When you get older, that's why you should buy a ranch house.
Yeah,
that's on our next list of shopping lists.
yeah, that's gonna be me too. I'll never get another 2-story.
Yeah, when we bought here in Vermont, we bought a single story, but we have a fully unfinished basement, so getting ready to finish that out. Now we'll have stairs again.
We could always get the you know, what they call the chair lift or whatever.
Yeah, we'll probably do something like that later.
Yeah.
Some form of elevator.
People next to us put a whole elevator into their house when they rebuilt it after the earthquake so that her mother could get up and down, and the mother passed away before they finished the elevator.
Oh.
But they have an elevator. The kids used to think it was cool to walk in and push the button and go upstairs.
They're not that expensive, much to my surprise. I mean, you can get an elevator for 20,000, I think.
Yeah, my in-laws put an elevator in their house. They built a new house a few years ago and put an elevator in, and they mostly use it now when they bring groceries home. They'll pull into the garage. They'll put the groceries on the elevator. They'll walk up the stairs and get the groceries from the elevator. They don't want to use the elevator until they really have to, but they'll send the groceries up on it.
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fun of pushing all the buttons and getting off at the 5th floor is gone.
Yeah, ladies lingerie.
Yeah, we used to do that at the mall. We used to get on the elevator and push all the buttons
Yeah.
and
Oh,
We'll
you're
find
the
our
one who
30-story
did it.
building.
yeah.
Better in our 30-story building, push all those buttons.
Yeah, I when I visited Israel about 15 years ago, nobody warned me about the Shabbat elevators.
Ah, ha, ha, ha.
And I got in one of those, and it's like, oh, sweet Lord, I'm going to be
What's
here the
that?
rest of
What
my
is that
life.
all about?
Well,
A Shabbos elevator goes to the top and stops at either every other floor or every floor. So the person does not have to touch the button, which
Yep.
you're not allowed to
Oh,
do during Sabbath.
during Sabbath, it's considered work. So yeah, that was a new piece of knowledge for me, which I learned over the half an hour it took to get to the ground floor.
Then you have what's called a Shabbos Goyim, which is basically your neighbor comes in who's not Jewish and lights your stove for you on Friday night so you can cook your chicken.
Here's a quick one. This is the Disneyland Hotel.
Oh, cool.
Not the contemporary.
No. Gourmet shop.
Man, a lot of big family there.
Yeah. And there was obviously Balloon Animal Day.
this is not the same family, is it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, it still is. Wow.
Wow, they've had a lot more kids.
Yeah.
Wow, 7 of them.
Well, I think they also may have somebody else's kids because it's another shot with another lady.
Oh.
Yeah, cousins or whatever.
Yeah. And you see the one girl very proudly holding her baby sister or brother right there.
That makes it 8.
And then they're out in the streets of Anaheim. Just now mom gets to take the picture or whatever. And there comes dad.
On beautiful scenic Harbor Boulevard.
Yeah.
What year was that, Bill? Do you know?
I'd have to go. Oh, that was 1965.
Okay.
Now this was a random 16 millimeter reel that happened to be a guy. I bought a bunch of films and he said, I don't know if you want any of these, but I threw all these other reels in. So I thought you car guys could tell us about this.
Bill, do you put those labels on?
General Motors product.
Yeah. Is that a Chevy logo on the front?
I think it might be.
Yeah, I think that could be pre-World War II.
It's pretty, whatever it is.
Yeah, the labels at the beginning are just the file name, the temporary working file name that gets displayed when the media player plays it back.
Okay.
So now if anybody recognizes this lake.
That was a Plymouth that just went by.
Great punter train.
I did find out whatever year this was. I don't have the film right here, though, but a lot of these films have a day code. You can go and figure out, roughly when it was shot.
Is the date code from the processing or on the actual film?
It can be both, and it's very strange. When Kodak made these things, they put on a code, and it's a little decoder chart. So you see, okay, it's a circle, a triangle, a square. That's this year, and then every 20 years they repeated the codes. And then a couple of years they didn't have that code. They had another one that I've never found the decoder chart. Oh, this guy's great. He's having lunch in the car, right? But he's not just going to have a paper bag lunch. I mean, he's going all out. He's got silverware and plates, and he's enjoying
Like
it.
an airline meal.
Yeah.
That car had triangular vent windows on the rear door. Did you notice that?
Yeah, and then
Triangular windows on the rear door.
a little bit of a double exposure as we fade out to fishing. But then for a couple of years, Kodak actually put on the thing. Here's another car for you.
That's a Cadillac. That's a Cadillac.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Cadillac.
he's towing something. Oh, a Cadillac towing. That's for That's a shame.
Yeah, and for a couple of years, they actually put, like I did one last night, it said processed 6/65. So sometimes certain lamps put the date on there, certain ones did not. Now he's using his tiny little fish, and hopefully the guy's gonna catch
The bigger fish.
Yeah, live bait.
Yeah,
So Bill, almost all these films were probably developed by Kodak, correct?
yes. Now there were some I did looked at some the other day. They were from Ansco, and I was surprised they actually came out with okay color because Ansco was crappy.
Yeah, yeah, that Ansco has a horrible color shift. But you know, because there are independent labs too. Like
Yeah.
when I worked at Kmart High School, Dewey Photo Labs is who we used. You
Well,
could get Kodak, but it was like almost twice as expensive as Dewey.
Well, that was the trouble. Kodak had a monopoly on it, and the judge ruled that they needed to open up the process to other companies, and they did. But like at Disney, we had the MMRC, the Mickey Mouse Recreation Club, and they were a lot cheaper than taking it to Kodak. The guy did catch a bigger fish, so it paid off. But the trouble is there was not the same quality control. So a lot of the pictures I took and had developed through the MMRC, the colors have really shifted on the negatives, and others that I had done at the same time that were done by Kodak have held up, you know, amazingly well. So it was one of those things where people, how many, you know, if Kodak would change the chemical, say every 10 reels, you know, how much did they change?
I think that was what's called a lake trout that he caught.
Well, we're now in 1939, the Beech Nut Gum Pavilion at the World's Fair.
Wow.
And this, I've only seen this in still pictures before, so this is all amateur film somebody shot. And I was very, very pleased to get this, because you can see how intricate these things are, that, you know, the things move on the little floats. And I've never heard of half these products that, you know, that they made at this point in time. Anybody tube of beech nut rummies? Look at the mechanisms there as the thing went by.
Wouldn't that be kind of like, is it butter rum?
That already went by, so
wow, those are my favorite.
Yeah.
Still.
And then we have beech nut peanut butter and Tops cereal.
Oh.
And beech nut macaroni and spaghetti. I've never heard of that before.
Magatini, like the restaurant.
Yeah.
So the audience, I'm assuming, is sitting still, and there's a conveyor belt transporting them.
Giant conveyor belt. And this is part of it. Then they had a miniature circus with you know, different animals and things that like right here, trick riders and everything. So this was all part of their displays.
This is remarkable stuff. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, now we went outside and the exposure changed. So I went off and I reset the scanner, and we'll go back and pick it up here. That's the indoor again. And now we're wandering around the gardens outside Beech Nut Packing Company.
Do you know which season these are from?
No, yeah, 1939, because there's a shot of the USSR pavilion.
Ah,
there's the Great Britain. There he is. There's USSR.
Yeah, that was gone in 40.
Right. Super overexposed in this area, but you know, again, you can play with some. I'll be playing with it in post-production. There's the Great Britain.
Magnificent.
Oh, wow.
Fountains of the Lagoon of Nations. Same ones we saw the 64 fair, same settings.
It's amazing with the technology they had available at hand.
Yeah. And again, this is very smart. You know, Italy had the giant waterfall coming down, thing about Marconi at the bottom. That was a tidal fountain, so they would close the tidal gate, let the water run out, walk out on the walkways, load all the mortars so the fireworks show, and then let the water come back in.
I would love to have one of those medallions from that tower.
From here, yes, these are all copper. don't know where the tower went. It was one of the last things taken down in the park during demolition because it was left again as a memorial, a marker for the demolition crews.
Didn't the statue out front of the Poland Pavilion end up in Central Park?
Central Park, yep, exactly. Yeah, very good.
So
USSR, massive pavilion.
and it was not reassembled, if I remember correctly, in back
Yes,
home.
because they needed the material for war stuff. Did anybody know the nickname of the worker standing at the top of it?
Bronx strap hanger.
Yeah, yeah, the Bronx strap hanger. And they call him Joe the strap hanger for Joe Stalin. That statue was done by one of the Vanderbilts, and it was supposed to go to LaGuardia Airport, and it vanished. Nobody knows where it went.
Someone knows. They're just
Yeah.
not talking.
Yeah, Joey has it.
Yeah.
Joey must live in a warehouse.
That's what my wife says.
Yeah, you see the end of Citizen Kane. That's Joey's warehouse.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was just on this morning.
Was it?
No, I'm sorry, Casablanca. Was on this
Okay.
morning.
I love Citizen Kane. That movie is
That's a
so
great movie.
magnificent.
So where's the Atlantic City pictures?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We're running out of time.
Oh, I got all day. No, I don't. But we'll get there. It's very
Carol.
we got to go to lunch.
Valentine's lunch.
Yes.
Oh, that's right, man. Yep.
Well, we went out for a nice dinner last night, so.
Seafood tonight.
Bill, where'd you go for Valentine's dinner?
What's that?
Whoa.
Where did you go for Valentine's dinner?
It's just a place we go all the time, a Korean barbecue place.
You have to understand, our son is in love with Asian food.
Yeah.
And so most of the times we go out, it's to an Asian restaurant.
Yeah, I'm in an Asian food thing right now too. I have been for like a year. Yeah.
Well, they get a kick out of it because he wanted to go to this place because it was fast. You go in and you sit down. By the time you order, they're piling the food on the table. But he likes to order some of the condiments and side dishes that only the Koreans get. And when he asks, they look at him like, they're not as surprised now as they used to be. It was like, how did you know about that stuff?
Well, no, most of them would come with the dinner, but the one thing he gets, which I don't even know what it is, he asks for it specially.
Yeah, so they're always a bit surprised that the Caucasian guy's asking for it.
My cousin spent a year working in Beijing, and when he came back, he went to Chinatown, and he picked up the language very well, and he's ordering in perfect Cantonese, and it's blowing their minds away. He's not even using the menu.
Yeah.
He goes, "Do you have this? Do you have that?" And they're like, "Huh?" And he goes, "Do you have whatever it was?" And they go, "Yes, we do." And then he explained that he had worked in Beijing. And now they're asking, "Well, did you go here? Did you go there?" And he goes, no, I was working 8 hours a day and then going back through passport control, living in Hong Kong at night."
Yeah, I
over a year.
I kind of experienced the same thing, but opposite. My late partner learned Mandarin in the service, and so we went to China. It was like 1989, I think. And he's 6 foot, blonde, German looking, walks into a restaurant in Shanghai or Beijing or whatever, orders perfect Chinese. They have people come to the table and look at him speaking.
We used to have a very favorite Chinese restaurant near where we live, and the people, it was family run, family owned, and they decided to retire. So they left, they sold the building to somebody else, but we have no good Chinese restaurants now.
No,
It is really sad. We used to go there every week, I think, when Neil was young.
It got to the point where
Speaking of which, how's your new little granddaughter doing?
Oh,
Well,
she's doing fine. She's gonna be 2 next week.
we're going
Wow.
to Seattle to see her.
Seems like she was just born the other day.
Well, it used to be at this restaurant. We went there so often. Carol could call up. The Shriners are in town there.
Yeah,
Carol
see.
would call up and place the order, and is that to go? No, we'll eat it there. This is Neil's mom. So literally, we walk into the restaurant, the table would be set, and other people would be waiting online for a table. Like, oh, who are these people? We'd walk in, sit down, they'd bring the food out. Now we're at Niagara Falls. So, but it was, we'd say, yeah, we'll have the usual.
Yeah,
was cool.
yeah. With me being so close to Orange County, there's no shortage of new.
No, I'm
Asian
sure where you
restaurants.
live, there's a lot more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We actually have a fair number of Asian restaurants, but hardly any Chinese anymore.
Well, yeah, that's true, Carol. Even here, yeah, most of Vietnamese, Thai, whatever, but yeah, not a whole lot of Chinese.
And we have one that Neil loves, which is
Laotian.
Laotian, right? Laotian, which is very
I've never
unusual.
had that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they said they're the only Laotian restaurant in LA. And it's one of those things we drove by it for 100 years and one day decided to try it and he goes, I like it.
So how does it differ from Thai or any
It's very
others?
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dishes are different, and I guess the flavor profile is different. It is definitely not American food, but anyway, the food is good and the prices are reasonable, and the people, I think that's family owned too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I get a kick out of this. The old made of the mist boat down here is so different from the ones that are there today. And okay, let's see what we got next.
Back when I was in Chicago 10 years ago, practically all the Japanese restaurants were actually owned by Koreans.
Well,
Let's see if this is what I was looking for.
they knew how to make the sushi though, didn't they, Wayne?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here's Atlantic City.
Yeah, there it
Ah,
is.
cool. I like that the old 39 World's Fair stuff, Bill. A lot of
That was
This had to be in the 1950s.
No, in this, I don't know, because there's going to be an inflatable building over a swimming pool, which seems semi-recent, but we'll take a look.
Because that picture of Steel Pier, that's the way it looked before 62.
So are these piers still there?
No,
No. Okay.
nothing's
Have
still there.
they been destroyed by storms or?
It's by casinos. They demolished everything. The piers are gone. The hotels are gone. It's all gone.
Yeah, I've never been to
the
Atlanta.
boardwalk is still there, but it's not much to do.
I see the inflatable building. Is that what that? Oh, they're around the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, over a pool, dude. That's the lighthouse there.
Oh, there you go.
Those two-tone paint jobs of the year were like so interesting.
I used to go there so much. Yeah, the old Steel Pier.
Yeah, like I said, that was just thrown into the box. The guy said, I don't know
That's
if you
it.
want this stuff or not.
That's
I
it.
didn't do it short. So let's go here to Marineland and Knott's Berry Farm. So let's see.
Speaking of Marineland, I got invited the other day to a sort of an impromptu dinner party. Two people I work with, retired pilot, retired flight attendant. They're married and they live in Palos Verdes Estates. I had never been over to that section of Palos Verdes at night. Oh my God, I didn't know where the hell I was.
Oh,
And
that's
it's
so
dark.
dark.
They don't light the streets like here. Thank God for GPS.
Yeah, oh goodness. Okay, so we had a whole bunch of family visits. This is inside of, you can tell me that car from the inside, I'm going to be real impressed.
Yeah, crank down windows and a vent.
Look at all the metal inside.
Yeah, all the things that could hurt you in an accident.
Yeah.
No plastic.
And I get over to Knott's. All sorts of their old trains and borax stuff.
Did you say what year this was?
I have it written down. I don't have it right here. Sorry.
I don't worry about it.
Now you go to a theme park and boy, they spend a lot of money on that attraction.
But it'll keep her occupied for hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, is this still the same family?
I don't know on this particular one.
It looks like the same lady, kind of.
Might well be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally had
Aw,
two giant
making her a
boxes.
squaw.
Yeah. I had two giant boxes of film. I'm still working my way through one.
What year you think this was?
The late 50s, early 60s.
Hey,
Wow.
Those hussies, they'll pose with anybody.
And so will the women, huh?
Yeah. Again, Knott's has changed so much these days with all the roller coasters and all the other odds and ends.
This was when you just walked into the park, no admission, but then you paid for individual rides.
Right. Certainly don't see an Indian sheep wandering around these days.
Yeah.
Oops, camera's on. I don't know it. Whoops.
So will you edit that out at some
Oh,
point?
yeah. Yeah. And it's too bad Cody's not here. She can see it in the replay. She loves the stagecoach ride.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I take out all that, weird stuff and then again splices with all the, where you can see the old glue and stuff like that. I mentioned on one of these, a couple of times you end up with cameras where every time the guy started or stopped it, you got 2 or 3 blank, or very blurry rolls of stuff. So I think we're, I try to take those out. Again, if you're just watching it across the room, I guess it's okay. But when it's right in front of your face on a 30-something inch monitor, that boom, bright white thing, boom, white thing, it gets old. So I take those out.
Hey,
Well,
Bill, the title of this film says aspect ratio 158 by 128. Is that what it scans? It can't be what it scans it as. What's the final resolution that's been saved as here?
Yeah, that's the aspect ratio is up there. I'm not sure what it's coming out. This is 2048 or something. I'd have to go and look. I can do it after we're done, but it's much larger than that.
Well, where does it come up with that 158 by 128 number?
That comes out of the software. I don't know where it comes from. Like I said, the speed is the that's correct. It's 16 millimeter, but I don't know what he's saying with the aspect ratio up there.
Okay.
When I stop this, I'll tell you what the aspect ratio is. Now, again, we're seeing black bars on either side of it because this whole thing is shot and done on a wide frame, a thing. And if it was a different film, it would zoom in more. But I'll get it. Is that the end of this section? 1 second. We're in the sequoias. We're at the house. Oh, okay. Far for you.
I have a dog.
I wonder how much those homes sell for now.
Oh, goodness gracious.
The Plymouth product there? Or Chrysler rather?
Oh, there's a deer come to visit Don.
Ah,
Yes, nothing else on this particular one, but hang on, let me stop this 1 second. And just so we can figure it out, the aspect ratio on this, let's see. All right, details. This is 2,440 pixels wide, 2,040 pixels high, done at 40. Yeah, and then different data rate and stuff like that. But 2440 by 2040. is the size of it. And let's see.
Bill, do you know if that in this film there was an antique car ride at Knott's Berry Farm? Was it on a guide rail?
Yes, it was the same. It's one of the Arrow development cars.
Mm-hmm.
And
They
then,
sold a lot of those.
real quick, again, things that show up. I was this particular one. Guy's driving up to Yellowstone, and it goes through the Shoshone National Forest. I mean, this film goes on for 45 minutes. All of a sudden, wow, B-17s used for fire bombers sitting outside of Cody, Wyoming. So I just shared this last night on a B-17 group, and people are trying to figure out exactly which planes those were. Again, just
They ever had a career as fire bombers with those things.
oh yeah, they had quite a few of them, and unfortunately, they had a 30% mortality rate because they kept flying them very, very low to the ground.
Mm.
And this was one I just did last night. It was supposed to be the Vancouver World's Fair, which I was going to be excited, but we'll settle through with Seattle.
Now, why were you excited about that? Are Expo 86 films hard to come by?
Yes, they are, because most people are switching to home video at that
Oh,
point.
true. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, so there's not an awful lot of 8mm or super 8mm stuff out from
Yeah, they had the big video cameras on their shoulder.
that's what I was doing myself.
Yeah.
So the DuParis Fountain, which is still there today, and we get to see Huckleberry Hound and Yogi Bear. Smarter than the average bear.
That boat's leaning a bit to the right.
I guess Huckleberry had his cereal that morning.
Yeah.
He had a heavy breakfast.
Yeah.
Huckleberry Pounds.
Then they switched from there into a souvenir reel, which was very, very red. Well, we get the International Fountain. It's also very, very dirty. The soaring arches of the Science Center, which I just read the Science Center is selling part of their building off to the folks that own the Space Needles, and there's lots of controversy up in Seattle about that.
I wonder what they're going to do with that footage.
Yeah, so they're not sure what they're going to do. They're going to continue to run a movie theater in it for the time being, but the long-term use has not been announced.
It would be nice if they did a museum devoted to the fair.
Yeah, probably not a big money maker.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately. I'd go.
Yeah, we'd all go.
Yeah. So I'll work on this more and try to get some color out of it. Nope, tulips don't smell, lady. Keep going.
Well, your homework assignment for when we return in 2 weeks is to research why it posts those two numbers, 158 by 153 by 128.
Yeah, that's on my list of things I'm not going to worry about.
Yeah.
So we're
Well, it seems odd, unless unless maybe it's an initial analysis from your scanner that says, okay, here's, it's taken the frame here and saying, okay, here's the ratio of it, and that's what it uses as the basis for the file format. But I don't know. It seemed like all of them were listed the same way. So I don't know. I'm just curious to know.
Hey, Bill, what was the railroad transport pavilion we passed by? Was that a pavilion?
Yeah, that was one of the last gasps of the railroad industry to try to convince everybody that trains are still here and coming to be. They had a thing inside about a streamlined train, and they also had a model of a levitating train, going to be, magnetic levitation, that sort of thing. Obviously, it didn't come to be, but they were still trying to compete against railroads for passenger service and stuff. interesting they didn't have any trains on display like they did at other World's Fairs.
First I've heard that one. I thought I'd said them all.
The participant has set the caption language to English. Okay, don't know what that means. Beep beep.
Doesn't have his hands at 10 and 2.
Yeah. Plaza of the States. Whoops. Almost
Missed. Darn.
10 points missed.
And that should be the end of that. You can see how cruddy and dirty it gets near the end of the reel.
Boy, ugh.
Yeah, I will go back and try to clean it at some point. So hopefully, if I didn't get to all the other 64 stuff, because you'd be here forever and ever and ever. But it's a hopefully folks saw some new stuff. You saw the 39. I know you like that, Don. So
Oh yeah, that was exceptional last thing.
Bill, have you ever shown, or do you have any color footage of the 39 fair?
oh yeah, we did that a couple of weeks ago. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go and rescan that with the new scanner. But it was the Railroads on Parade show, and they had all these great colorful costumes with these weird Flash Gordon type hats and everything for the the future is coming. I mean, they start with back in the covered wagons and everything, but the end scene is really surrealistic, seeing it in color.
Yeah, I had to miss the last two, so.
Yeah, that was in there somewhere, and it's online if you go back.
Oh yeah, we'll look for
But
it.
I will be rescanning that, so we'll see that again in color. Yeah, again, 16 millimeter amateur color footage back then. You can imagine there was not, for the cost of it, not a lot of people shooting and making it available.
Right.
So yeah, this Tuesday we fly up to Seattle. We're now looking at rain, freezing rain, snow, ice, and that sort of stuff. But my granddaughter it's really funny. They talking more and more every week. We see her every day on FaceTime. But my daughter will say, "What are you going to do when Grandpa gets here?" And her answer is immediate: "Eat ice cream." We are looking forward to going up there and seeing ice cream. Hey, Joey.
Yeah.
You in the mood to show the or let me show the Vento at the fair footage?
Oh, I would love. Yeah, I would love it. I would love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, Bill took all our old regular 8 films that have been sitting around for years, and he transferred them, cleaned them up, and they're beautiful. So yeah, you can, sure.
Let me see if I can find it here real quick.
Cool.
He put a watermark on it so it doesn't end up in some World's Fair tribute movie.
It's searching for it. I just saw it the other day, so I know I have it around here somewhere. The trouble is I have so many movies. I just said this morning, I wonder how much I have. Oh, only 540 gigs of finished ones so far. And I think it's 2.7 terabytes of unfinished ones.
Oh.
Oh, I
You've
know.
got enough for the next 20 or 30 years.
Yeah. Hang on, I know where I put it here. 1 second. Different drive, different folder. There we go. Okay, let me cue it up here. All right.
Remember now, this is Little Joey.
Yeah, little Joey, right. Okay, let's see. I want to go back here
As
to.
opposed to Big Joey.
I was this
Okay.
little Italian kid from South Brooklyn, and when we saw the fair, it was like it was like a dream.
All right, so here we go. Share.
Joey, what part of Brooklyn?
I grew up in Carroll Gardens.
Oh, because I was Sheepshead Bay.
Yeah. Yeah, we my
Yeah,
aunt lived in
we have
Sheep.
relatives in Rockaway Boulevard.
I had relatives all over Brooklyn.
Who are-
Initially, we all lived within a block or two of each other.
Hey, Joey, slow down.
Which one are
Hey!
you? Is that you?
Is that Joey? Is that you, Joey?
He's
Joey.
taking the fifth.
That's Joey.
Yeah, I can't see it, so I don't know what
Oh.
you're seeing.
We're
Oh,
seeing
Probably
can't
go
see
pick up
it.
his first light from the World's Fair.
driving the scooter, the stroller.
Yeah, I can't see the film, but I'll tell you that's probably me. That's me in the little the U drive, I guess.
Yeah.
Little red car.
The ladies with you.
Yeah, I can't see it. Like I said, I don't. It's probably my mother and my mother's nieces.
Yeah.
I would assume maybe your mother and your grandmother. In the one we're looking at right now.
No, I can't see what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Why can't you see it?
I don't know. It's not showing up.
Huh.
I can see it fine.
No, what's interesting here is she's actually carrying the handle for the stroller, and that was the idea, that was you would take the stroller, the handle with you, and other people couldn't steal your stroller.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that's a
Yep.
cool
Bill,
idea.
to carry the handle all day.
Bill, is there any way that is there something that I can do to
Why
see
you're
it as
not
well?
seeing it, Joey?
Yeah, I
What-
don't know.
What are you seeing?
I'm seeing a black screen.
No, I don't know why everybody else
Do you have
is.
your camera turned on?
Yes, I do.
Well,
I
that
don't
wouldn't.
know.
that
Everybody
wouldn't
else
come
is
Now
seeing
he
it.
lost his voice.
Try
Yeah,
to
I did.
unshare your screen and reshare it again.
Well, he's not sharing, I don't think.
Well, no, I'm doing the sharing.
Yeah, Bill's sharing it.
Yeah, I think best thing to do would be to log out and log back in. You know, shut down Zoom, come back.
Yeah, drop out and come back, Joey, and I'll let
Okay,
you.
Whoops.
Bill, do you know what pavilion these?
Yeah, these are the fountains outside the what you call it, Mormon Pavilion.
Okay.
See if Joey shows back up.
We may have lost him forever.
Lost forever beneath the streets of Boston. He's the man who never
Never returned.
Another famous song from Boy Scout camp. We'll give him a moment. He has not come back. Ah, there he is.
There
Okay.
we go.
Where has our Joey won? There he is.
All right, Joey. Can you
Huh?
see or hear anything now, Joey?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not moving yet. Oh, there we go. Okay.
All right,
There
we're
he
gonna
is.
go back to the beginning. So there we go.
Yeah, that's me. That's my mother to the right. And that's my one of my mother's nieces.
Okay.
And we would go with the school would take them a lot, and this is when we all went together. And I just love this thing. Years later, I would ask my dad if they knew of any way we could have gotten that thing back to the car and taken it home with us.
I wonder, did many of them disappear?
No, very few have shown up. Nobody really knows
Yeah.
where they went. There's two of them that I've known shown up because I worked given photos to restore them. But only two have shown up that I know of. They did.
Yeah, I
You have
think
to carry
people
this
did,
was
carry
that-
that clunky handle with you.
but people did try to get him out of the gate, and the Hertz gate
Yeah.
shooting guards a reward for stopping people.
Yeah. My cousin there is holding the rail. And
It's ridiculous. You
yeah,
have to carry that
we
handle
just-
all day.
we just loved it. We went back a few times. My dad loved to photograph, and he loved the Japanese pavilion because he was stationed in Japan. And I love this. I absolutely love this. This is the solar fountain, I think.
It's either solar or lunar. You have
Yeah,
to look up
I
to
think it's the
see.
lunar fountain.
The lunar, it's the lunar.
Yeah.
Well, they both
And
look the same, but the one of them had a pole that came up, and I can't see the top of it.
yeah, and we used to see the guy in there collecting all the coins. Yeah, there he is.
There it is. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
He probably kept them all.
He didn't even work there. He just came in.
He financed his trips to the fair.
Everybody assumed he worked there.
Hey,
That's how that one
it's
kid
dinner
did.
time. See if I can collect $15 to eat at the top of the fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
now this was frightening because I was really scared of Goofy. And to calm me down, my father, I don't think it's in here, but my father would stick his head in Goofy's mouth to show me that, you know, it was just it really wasn't a real giant dog.
And he came out, his head was missing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we had not yet, you know, we hadn't been to anything Disney at that point. This was really a lot of people's first introduction to Disney was this fair.
Yeah.
And years later, we made our trip when Disney World opened. Yeah, yeah. That's my cousin Teresa wearing the hat,
Famous feather hat.
which she still had. She still had that in the 70s. She had it
Ah.
hanging up. Yeah, and there's my beloved mother, Laura.
You still have clear memories of the fair, Joey?
I have certain memories of it, like the dinosaurs and certain other things. Other things are filled in, like memories tend to do by these films.
How old were you there? About 4 or 5?
Yeah, I was about 4. And
Yeah.
years later, when they were when it was being torn down, and years after that, when it just stood as a park, we would drive by, and my father would tell me that was where the big fair was, and I could hardly believe it was the same place.
That's your dad
Yeah, and that's my father. Yeah, there he is.
moving
Yeah,
sidewalk going by the PA.
No, wait, do you know what kind of camera your father was using or your family?
yeah, he used. I still have it. It's a DeJour
Oh.
8mm movie camera, and we had the DeJour projector as well.
Higher end equipment. And
And
Lighting
film,
on that, amazing.
you know, film was very, very expensive. So
right.
I only think maybe he took maybe 2 rolls or something. Yeah, that's
here.
yeah. There's yeah. I miss my mother so much.
That's great. You have stuff like this for the memories.
Yeah,
How old was she there, do you think?
my mother was probably about 39, 40.
Okay.
My mother and father met at Roseland in Manhattan.
Wow, that's a great story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you an only child?
Yes.
Okay. But she had you relatively late.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes.
Because it's
But we had a lot of family living in Carroll Gardens with us. So my grandmother was down the block. My uncle was 2 blocks over, and then everyone started to move away. So, and we finally moved in 1971.
Yeah, my parents were young. My mother was 21 when she had me, and my dad was 22. So my parents were by far the youngest of all my friends' parents.
Yeah, yeah.
Only a 10-minute wait for GM.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Well, thanks for allowing us.
Yeah, we had a big premiere when the films first came in, so Jessica got to see them, and she had never seen me in film that young. So thank you, Bill. I really appreciated it.
Oh, no
Joey,
problem.
what did you mean when the films first came in? Did you recently find them or something?
No, we had them for years, and when we lived years ago, when we lived in Brooklyn, my father used to bring out the projector and we used to watch these films. I think there were 3 reels of them. And we used to watch them all the time. And then as I began to make my own films, I would make my own little animated films and this and that. We would use them for big movie nights with the family. So I hadn't seen these since I put them away.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so if
they've
you
been
were so
sitting
young
around.
then, if you were so young, how'd you collect parts from the fair buildings then as they came down?
Oh,
How'd you
this
get
was
them?
this was much later. Or this is when my dad started taking me to the fairgrounds in late 1967, 60.
Oh, you found remnants laying on the
Yeah,
ground.
when the park opened, and they were just there. I mean, nobody would think to do that. And my father would sit on a bench, smoke a cigarette, and tell me to go, go run around and excavate things.
You had a shovel. You had a shovel.
Yeah, yeah, and the park was deserted back then. It wasn't like it is today at all. And at nighttime, if you stayed a little later, it was not a great place to be at night. So
No, I got to be pretty dangerous. I was just reading the comments here, and somebody was talking about how the nuns would throw erasers at him. We had a guy I'll never forget, the 5th grade teacher had been a former Secret Service agent, and he had a picture of himself proudly standing there next to Eisenhower when Eisenhower was getting sworn into office. But this guy could nail you with a eraser, and we're not talking little erasers for your paper. We're talking the chalkboard erasers. He would nail you across the room with amazing accuracy, dead in the forehead. If people were talking or whatever, and it would leave this big chalk mark on your head. And he would make you wear it throughout the end of the day and come back to at the end of the school, and it was like the scarlet letter A on adulterers. He knew that this guy had nailed you with the thing. Today, could you imagine what would happen if your kids in school? I mean, he'd hit you so hard he'd knock kids right out of their seat. Can you imagine today somebody coming home and telling their mom, I was sitting in class and Mr. Giovanetti hit me with this eraser and knocked me out of my seat, and I had to wear this chalk mark all day long?
Lawyers.
That's child abuse.
Yeah, my 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Deedy, we had a behavior chart, and if you got 3 check marks, you did something bad 3 times in 1 week, you had to select your punishment out of the punishment box. And her punishments included things like pushing an entire box of thumbtacks into the bulletin board. Well, by the time you were done, I mean, I was always teacher's pet, and of course, was constantly teased about that, but so I never had to do it. But your thumb looked like hamburger meat by the end of this. You had to duck walk up and down the hallway, like 10 times or whatever. One was you got turned over the teacher's knee and spanked. I mean, this would be, Jacoby and Myers would be setting up an office on the campus.
Yeah, things have changed a little bit. Unfortunately, you also stop and think about it, though. How many people did the things that back then that the people do today? I mean, I'm not condoning nailing somebody. There was some horrible footage in the news here this past week where somebody got mad at a special needs student, took off her shoe, threw it at the kid, and it was just terrible. But I mean, having some sort of discipline and stuff was not all that bad an idea. So unlike these whippersnappers today, So
yeah, my daughter's a teacher, special needs kids, and she can tell you some stories about what goes on there. It's a completely different dynamic today than it was when we were in school.
what's unfortunate, we get a lot of calls for kids that are acting up in school, and we had one about a week ago that was, just it was a Jewish private school, but the kid went absolutely bonkers, and it took like 4 people to, hold him down and sedate him and stuff like this. It's unfortunate that some of these kids have real issues and start doing. Well, there was somebody I knew, my partner for LAPD. They had their kid in a private school and they were paying good money and everything. And one of the kids in class had a problem with biting and just kept biting other kids, for whatever reasons. And they finally said, well, you either have to, the school, we don't want to get rid of the kid. We have to help him grow and everything. And I said, you either get rid of the kid or we're going to sue your ass off. And then the kid was gone. But I mean, their granddaughter would come home with all these terrible bite marks on her because this kid would just get mad and start biting. And, I'm sorry, I wouldn't want my kid going to school have to be worried about it. Our granddaughter got bit by somebody, the other girl got mad. That was a one-off thing, kids lose their temper or whatever. But it's when you have somebody who's a chronic, whatever. It's you just, again, thank God your kids have turned out okay and don't have those issues. So
And Jess would tell me a lot of the teachers, they don't want to be the first one to put their hands on any kids because it does turn into the parents do go a legal route on that. So in many cases, there's one kid that destroys the room, and they have to let this little girl destroy the room and then take her out. They can't put their hands on her.
That's what we had to deal with last week. The same exact thing. They're calling the kids destroying the school, and nobody wanted to do anything about it. So you let the police get there and be the bad guys. So,
And the most amazing thing is that the kids that Jessica deals with, they're kindergarten kids. So these are the kids that are acting like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. Well, we will be back in a week, and hopefully we'll not put on too many pounds from eating ice cream with our granddaughter every day. So again, it's great to see you, Scott. I do owe you the pictures of the World Trade Center. Michelle,
Take your time.
Yeah, I forgot to thank you last week for the donation to the Boy Scout camp. It was very much appreciated. So it's we're getting ready for our 75th anniversary of the camp this summer. And
so no Zoom next week. Is that what?
Nope. We're going to be somewhere in Seattle doing something. And Carol just bought a new warm coat yesterday. We're getting ready for, going for, like one day next week. The high is supposed to be 40. When we've been here and our highs have been 86, so it's going to be a big change for us. So,
well, you say you were getting tired of the hot weather.
Yeah, we have been, but I mean, well, it's even one of those things. Like my daughter was very apologetic that on Friday her assistant made a mistake, and instead of her having the afternoon off, she's got to go to court for making an appearance. So we're going to go to court, and if the judge gives her any sass, we're going to let them know. No, I mean, we went to see our daughter, and she was a deputy DA in Fresno, California, and we went to see her in court, and it's just you always think about the little girl bouncing your knee and everything, and then she's in court. No, Your Honor, the people feel that we ought to do this, and 10 years is not acceptable. It's 35, or it's like, whoa, she actually knows what she's doing. It was very proud parents. Then the judge turned out to be a Disney fan, so he invited us back to the chambers. And it was really kind of interesting because the bailiff is coming in. I mean, there's 100 people waiting in the courtroom, and he's got these other judges in there, and we're all talking Disney stuff. The bailiff is, Your Honor, they're already, he goes, let them wait. So when he came down to California, we took him for a tour of the Disney studios, and he became Margot's favorite deputy DA.
Speaking of court, I just got a jury.
That could be a conflict of interest.
Unfortunately, the poor guy, he was very young. He was only about 38 years old, 40 years old. He was at the gym, doing something in the gym, and just fell over dead. So I mean, he was a really nice guy. But we got such a kick, the bailiff trying to get the judge out. And the judge says, no. Now, how do they do the fire scene? So the Pirates of the Caribbean. You got to tell me how that works. And the other judges are all coming in, and they're, oh, okay, Space Mountain. How fast does that go? It like I said, it made her very popular at court. So we'll see in 2 weeks, and I hope everybody stays warm and dry, and hopefully everybody stays healthy. That's the important part. Take care.
Hey, Will.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye,
Bill.
everybody. Thank you.
Wow.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Bill.
Happy
Thank you, Bill.
Valentine's Day to the ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
in the garden.